All right, guys, welcome back to another Fantasy Fishing Show. I got the whole crew with us this time. Y'all had to see me by myself last time. Everybody was fishing events or working shows or doing something for sponsors, so I had to kind of take the reins in the last one. I did pick the winner at Lee Lives Say, so congrats on the 42-pound bomb that he dropped on the final day, which was absolutely ridiculous. If y'all didn't watch it, I think they highlighted it as probably one of the best 18 minutes of Bass Live ever. So I'm assuming most of you tuned in, not y'all, but everybody that's watching this show. So, I mean, it was just an absolute awesome experience. We just wrapped up Pickwick for the first event of the year, or first Central Open of the year. It was a good event there. Pickwick showed out even in what we considered a kind of a tough bite, that in between from coming off the beds to moving offshore. So, it was definitely not the easiest place to figure out. But hey, guys, let's jump right into fantasy this week. And I'm just going to go ahead and go with the ringer here and Matt Pangrac. Matt, let's just hear who you got in Group A, and let's hear your breakdown of why you have said person in Group A.
Man, there's a bunch of good guys that you could pick in Group A, and I don't think you could go wrong with them. I'm going to go a little bit old school here, go back to some early 2090s BFLs and go with Matt Herron. The guy has experience here. He knows how it fishes, and I think he's a pretty safe bet. He's kind of a mixture of all the other guys that I think you could pick in this group with a lot of experience on Neely Henry.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot. What about you, Hallman? What you got in Group A?
I'm with Matt. It's hard to go wrong in Group A. That's why a lot of those guys are there. This entire week, I'm going with Team Alabama, and Matt Herron's leading that charge for me right at the top.
Gotcha. What about you, Todd? What you got?
There's two picks that I think are easy picks for me in this one. And I'm just going based on when we were there talking to my co-anglers. They were like just talking about the shad spawn and how awesome it is there in like April and May. And they all say the exact same thing to do, swim and jig. So it's going to be really easy to either pick Hackney or Christie, but I'm just going to go with Hackney on this.
I like that pick. I mean, I think that's a solid pick. And when you start talking about swimming a jig, I think he is definitely one of the best. That's also why I went Greg Hackney in this group. He's just a river guy, definitely one of those guys. He just does well when he comes in that situation. An alternative pick, if you're just looking to gain some points, I mean, you're looking at guys. Brandon Card's having a fantastic season. John Cox is a great swim jig fisherman. Won an event this year already with a swim jig in his hand. So, and then you look at Scott Martin. He's in this group now. Brandon Polinick's in this group. Polinick, last time he was there, caught him really good as well. So, I mean, it just opens the door in Group A. I mean, you literally don't have a bad pick. But I do like Matt and Hallman's pick with Herron. I think that's a super solid one. Group B, how about Hallman? You lead us off on this one.
My phone just went blank.
Uh-oh.
Okay, here I am. I'm going with Justin Hamner. Justin's from Northport, Alabama. Hamner qualified last year through the Opens with us. He had a good event here. He also had a good event down on Lay. It's really his wheelhouse, this Alabama river system. I think he's a good pick.
All righty. What about you, Todd? What do you got Group B?
I'm going swim jig stuff again. I'm going swim jig stuff, and a lot of this is based on our Open last year. I know Swindle, me and Swindle was around him the entire time last year. Steve Kennedy would be like, that's my two hiccups right there. But I'm going to go Swindle just based on the fact that if something changes, like if something kind of goes weird, Swindle will adjust probably quicker than any of them. So,
it's funny you say Swindle because I saw him idling a lot of offshore stuff when we were there last time. And it wasn't playing as much as some of the other stuff was. But, I mean, he definitely knows that body of water really well.
He did all that. And then, like, when it came down to, like he didn't practice hardly the grass. And then when it came down to it, he went and fished the grass and caught him. That's exactly. Why I'm like, yeah. I think he can do a lot of different things if he wants to.
I'm actually kind of going a different direction. I know the Alabama feel, and these guys are definitely going to be heavily, heavily picked, but I'm going to go Brandon Cobb. Cobb really excels in the post spawn. and he is a master with a buzz bait. And if anybody can figure out that buzz bait deal there, it's going to be him. And putting the toad on the back of it is, I mean, that's his deal. So, and I know he can swim a jig with the best of them as well. So, what about you, Pangrac? Who you got?
Man, I'm really struggling between two guys here. One would be Matt Robertson, who I remember the last time, I believe he got second in the Open when they were there in the fall. But I remember him saying something in an interview that I heard about how it reminds him of like the river lake that he grew up fishing and that he immediately felt comfortable at home on Neely Henry. So I would assume that would translate. But I've also got Wes Logan on the radar, and I think I'm going to end up going with Wes Logan just because I'm having a good year and I'm kind of playing at safer picks. I'm going to try to 12-pound him to death in fantasy fishing, and I think a little more safer pick there would be Wes Logan from Springville, Alabama.
Hey, Matt, like, or any of y'all, do bridge pilings play a role right now?
I mean and that's how he caught him when he was there.
Because let me tell you something.
Yeah.
He said on one bridge piling, like,
Yeah.
and hit it 50 different times a day.
I
and
remember it.
and
I'd
so-
idle under it. There's a pair of underwear right where he was fishing.
I know. So I don't know if that's like, I don't know. I'm just asking. I don't know if that's the deal or not. But if that one bridge piling is gonna be at play, then he might.
I mean, for real though, like the guy understands current probably as good or better than anybody. So, I mean, he's definitely a hammer as far as that goes. But it's hard not to go Wes Logan. I get the feel on that as well. I mean, they gave y'all all a bunch of different good picks there in Group B. You know, one that kind of strikes out to me that's having a pretty darn good year is Mark Menendez. I feel like that kind of fishery fits him as well, where he can 12, 14-pound them a day and do pretty good. Group C, Todd, let's go ahead and let you start off Group C. I'd love to hear who you got.
Well, I went safe pick, although I always go with first instinct. I see a guy at the bottom. I'm not even going to pick him because I already know who's going to pick him for this one. So I'll just go ahead and go Scott Canterbury. I think it's a pretty safe pick.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Who you got, Matt?
I did the same thing. I didn't want to take Brad's pick. I got Canterbury.
You went Canterbury as well, huh?
We know Hallman all so well.
I actually went Brian New in this group. I think you're going to see Brian New have a good event at this particular body of water. Who you got, Hallman? Let's hear it.
Do we even need to ask him? Do we need
to ask? I got to ask him, you know.
No, I mean, he's going to pick Brian Schmidt, swim jig guy, like the jig guy. Look at him smiling. He already knows I'm right.
I'm not. I'm going Sweet Home Alabama all week long. Scott Canterbury.
Wow. Man,
No
you might get
way.
a phone call after this.
You'll probably crush him and win the event.
Yeah, you will.
Probably so. I tell you, the one pick here that actually kind of got me a little bit, and I think he's going to have a good tournament, is Chad Morgenthaler. I mean, coming off an extremely good event at Fork, he's so super comfortable with a flipping stick in his hand. And, I mean, if he runs up that river and flips the river, if that is in play, he's going to be hard to beat up there. I really think he's going to do well. Group D, I'll start it off. I don't know if it's the right pick or the wrong pick. I think in this particular one, there's two guys that really stand out with Justin Atkins and Chris Zaldane. I have to go Zaldane coming off his best event of the year. I think he's going to get a little bit of momentum rolling. I have confidence in that he will have some momentum rolling. So I'm going Chris Zaldane. What about you, Panger?
Man, I'm going to go Jake Whitaker in this. I remember I was following the college national championship, I believe in 2015, and Jake Whitaker was on Chatoog, and he was fishing some shallow kind of clay banks, a little bit of water willow, skipping a frog under some docks, kind of a smaller river fishery. It just kind of reminded me a little bit of Neely Henry minus the depth. And I think he's due for a good one. He should be way higher than a D bucket. So I think Jake Whitaker junk fishes his way to a top 10 this week.
What about you, Todd? Who you got?
Justin Atkins. I mean, I was with Hallman. I didn't really pay attention to the Alabama thing. I'm not saying he's the only Alabama guy in that field in this group, but it was kind of a pretty safe pick. I mean, he's going to be all right down there.
Hallman?
I'm Atkins. I think he's back home in Alabama. He just had a good event on Pickwick. He's enjoying his home state. He's got another one there. He's making himself right at home. He'll have a good event this week as well.
Yep, I think y'all are right. I think Atkins. I mean, like I said, I think Atkins is going to have a good event. Hallman, how about you lead us off in this final bracket and let us know what you got?
You got Bill Wilder.
Okay.
Finish it off with another Alabama guy. So that's where I'm staying all week, boys. It's going to pay off.
So I got to ask, I thought you were an OU fan and you didn't even pick an Okie at all in this group. And then you picked all Alabama guys. Like, what's going on?
I did. And there was some times there that I had to really think about it. But I'm feeling Alabama this week. I really am. Roll Tide.
I bet that hurts you to say that. A little bit.
Nah, not really.
Panger, who you got? Group E.
Man, this one was hard for me. I'm gonna go really off the radar on this one, and it's real easy to pick Weidler or Kelly J, but I think Shane Lineberger from the Carolinas skips docks with a white swim jig and catches post spawners.
Good pick. That ran through my mind as well.
I like it. Todd, who you got?
I don't know why I picked him, and I went to him instantly. His percentage is high, but it's got me thinking like, well, I got Paul Mueller in this.
I know you were going Paul Mueller.
I know, but I don't even know why. Like it instantly, I don't know why, but and I'm trying to figure out, like, go back to my whole Alabama thing and what I was thinking, like swim jigging and I still can't find anyone that really like stands out to me. So I will say when I was down there, I wouldn't say I got an offshore bite, but I did get on this like little small ledge type deal that seems like a Kelly J type deal or a Paul Mueller. Like it was this, I don't know if they'll be out there, but yeah, I'll stick with Paul. He's due.
Yeah, I like that pick. I went Bill Wilder as well, just like Hallman. I had to pick. It was between Kelly J and Bill, and Bill's made a top 50. So I'm just saying, hey, you know what? Maybe he's got a little bit of momentum, and I think momentum's humongous in this game. So weights are always a very interesting tiebreaker, and obviously, y'all weren't a part of the show last week. I think I picked 116 pounds on the nose at Lake Fork, and I don't think it took quite that much. It was pretty close. I think it took like 112 or.
I picked 109, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it was up there. But anyways, we are typically really, really close as far as weights go. I think this event could throw us a little curveball because we haven't been there in the spring and you haven't seen a 4-day event fish there in quite some time, during the spawn or post-spawn. So I think it could really kind of go either way. So Hallman, what you got here for your weights?
69.6 total.
69.6. What about you, Panger? What you got?
I got 60 pounds, 2 ounces.
Ooh, you're talking tough event. Todd, what you got?
I just, like I said, I'm just basing off my co-anglers about how like they said it was phenomenal there. Like it was like incredible. Like it was. So I went 72.3.
I went 63.10. So overall, we've got all your picks. I hope you enjoy our fantasy fishing video. I'm glad all these guys are back because I don't like hearing myself talk about all this stuff all by myself. So glad we had at least a little interaction with the guys today. If you can, go check out bassmasterfantasy.com. Check out Matt, Bass Zone, Todd on his YouTube channel, and Hallman on his YouTube channel. They're posting a lot of good content on there all the time. And make sure you sign up and get in our group, our Bassmaster Fantasy Fishing group. We are giving away some prizes at the end of the year. Oh, and that reminds me, I got a message from a buddy of mine that is in our group. He is leading our group on Bassmaster Fantasy. He is in like 8th place overall in the entire country in this whole thing. He's at 100% pick rate right now. And he watches our show all the time. And Dustin Arnold, congrats. Keep it up, buddy. I hope you end up winning. That would be so awesome. He's a state trooper in Arkansas. So shout out to him. And if you aren't signed up, you need to get signed up. There's a lot of fun, and these guys are definitely competitive and want to win. So, guys, I will see y'all out there. Panger, Hallman, I'll see you at the next event.
See ya.
Yeah.
See you guys.